All right, so we got the pretty much the new special season character for Hero Arena being Percival, and I wanted to try going second with Percival. Again, I did see my boy Mesa did a video using Escanor going second team to defeat at least one of the towers, so I at least want to try doing that in that video. Is using both Percival and Escanor going second to defeat 2 towers at least for you guys, especially if you were planning on summoning for this guy. Again, he is a really solid character. I can't wait to see how well he performs in like things like Guild Wars and stuff like that, because being able to soak up most of the damage you take from the enemy while also allowing you to hit pretty hard is gonna be really interesting to see how well he performs. But again, we use this team featuring the humans with LR Escanor, Chaos Arthur, and also Transcendent Bond. Now again, this is going to be the gear set we're going to be using. I got HP crit defense on Escanor, but if you want to use crit resist, you can. I have HP crit defense on Chaos Arthur, HP crit defense on Percival, and then HP crit resist on Bond. That's because Bond usually doesn't get targeted as much. Usually Escanor usually gets targeted, so that's why I made sure I put the crit defense on him, just in case he get hit with like a crit. And then the artifact card set we're gonna be using is gonna be this one. And again, I was planning on using like a character like Yuri and stuff like that, because you know Yuri does give you like where's she at? I was planning on using a character like Yuri because she could give you like crit defense or crit resist. But the problem when it comes to the towers is that they do so much damage that you kind of want characters who can do damage back, just so it'd be a lot faster and easier for them to heal right back up, so you don't end up stalling so much. And the problem with Yuri is that she doesn't do damage. Again, she has a lot of good support passives and kit wise, but because she doesn't do as much damage, she becomes a liability on pretty much healing back her HP. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you guys like and subscribe again, and let's see how well this works. All right, so we're gonna show you Percival going second versus Hero Arena. Now this is gonna be the Summer Merlin, or not the Summer Merlin, what's called Halloween Merlin tower. Pretty easy tower to play against. Obviously we're just using Percival. Percival is a good character because he gets to soak up most of the damage, so having a human team like this is gonna be really nice for us, because again, we just get to soak up most of the damage. Now you really want to try to get rid of the more annoying characters like Rimuru, who could just infect you, and then he takes away your healing abilities. So that's why you can see right now I'm just pretty much just targeting Rimuru. As long as we're kind of like debuffed in some way, he's not going to infect us. That's why you see the AI not really try to infect us, because we are already debuffed from being sealed from Rimuru. But if Rimuru sees that you're not debuffed at all, then he will go for an infect play, because it is the AI. And then we get rid of Ainz, which is really nice for us because Ainz is super annoying with that damage reduction, and also the absolute death that he causes once you hit that 4 stacks. And again, Halloween Merlin and Freya shouldn't be hard, because again, Percival is soaking up most of the damage, so it's very easy for us to just get that HP right back. And you also got to remember, Percival is the seasonal character as well too, so you also get that good 10% boost in all your stats, which could be very helpful for most of the matchup. So this time we got the Ragnarok team, and Ragnarok team also a very powerful team. But again, Percival soaks up most of the damage, so that's really nice for us, which then leads us to pretty much just trying to get rid of tier. And if you get rid of the more annoying characters, usually going second using Percival, it's going to be a blast. So again, we just tanking most of the hits. Usually going for LR Escanor, because again, he is green character. I did think about using Yuri, but the thing with Yuri is that she don't do enough damage to heal back HP. So if she ends up getting targeted from the enemy, it's very hard for her to recover HP back. Obviously she is really nice by giving you all those support stats like 30% crit resist and 30% crit defense, and then being able to seal AoEs. Again, the only issue I always have with her is that she cannot do damage, which means it's gonna be very hard for her to recover HP. So that's why I just end up just using Bond, because Bond got the damage reduction, the stat lowering, or not stat, attack lowering from his debuffs, and he can do damage as well too, which makes it so he's not such a liability like what Yuri is. And again, I know a lot of people like Yuri because of that shenanigans with her supportive passive, but when it comes to Hirorina, it's a very high damage Hirorina that we're going against. So you really want characters who can heal back their HP very fast, or you're going to end up stalling for eternity. So that's why I would recommend you to not use Yuri and just use Transcendent Bond. Especially because, again, not everybody have Yuri too. So that's also really nice. And again, we're just getting rid of Roxy, which is the annoying character. Because we debuff them, Mono's going to most likely try to go for her cleanse every single time. So you usually want to try to get rid of Shin and Lilia, and then leave Mono by herself. Just because every time you will debuff her, but it's fine. It doesn't matter who you go for. Just because we got rid of the more annoying character being Roxy. So with that, we should be able to finish off Shin. And again, we're just trying to get recovery for our other characters who might need it. As you can see, we soaked up most of that damage, so technically didn't do much. And with this, we should pretty much get like full HP. Again, I really like Percival going second with this type of team. Obviously, not everything you'll be able to go second against, just because again the towers for this season is very, very difficult. I definitely recommend probably waiting for more seasonal characters, another seasonal character for the last tower going second. But if you really are trying to, you could probably push forward with going second teams through that last tower. The only problem I could see is that obviously you're probably gonna be using up more than 4 or 5 teams, which you never really want to try to do, just so you can defeat the challenger game mode. Usually you want to try to just do 4 or 5 and leave it at that to get the most amount of rewards. But if you're a person who really trying to, you can obviously try to go for the last tower, which is Gelda. So that is going to be really interesting. So we just finish you off right here. And again, we should do a lot of damage. So we're just going to end up getting rid of his Meliodas, because I'm nervous about Estros to living. But we do have the Chaos Domination. Because the 2 characters that are really annoying is going to be Demon King and Asabo Meliodas. Because if I didn't get rid of Demon King, then he would just got his boost. And probably an Infect as well. And now we have Bond, who is who don't have the most HP right now. So hopefully I can just crit and get rid of you. Gives me a little bit more HP back. And with this, we're just gonna finish them off with Arthur. Again, a fire super tanky going second team. Again, you obviously need Chaos Arthur for this to all work out, because you're on the last one. Again, the last one is gonna be Jelly King. Now, the Jelly King team, you will not be able to get rid of a character, which is fine, because again, they don't have cleanse or anything like that, so you can just stat lower them. Now for this one, I was literally trying to see if I could get rid of Jelly King as quickly as possible, but nothing was working. So I just ended up just resetting until the point where I just said forget it, I'll just take the second hit afterwards. Because usually when you try to get rid of Jelly Kings, just so the bleed debuff goes away. But if it doesn't work out, obviously I just went for this, because again, we are putting stat lowers on them. And for me, I just said, yo, it's going to be the end of the tower. So if I lose a character, I just lose a character, because I at least have 2 dominant characters being Chaos Arthur or LR Escanor. Or if that doesn't work, you have Bond too. So I just ended up just pretty much just attacking as much as I can. Then I go from ultimate. Like I said before, when it comes to this tower, doesn't do that much damage towards us because Percival is soaking up most of the damage, so doesn't matter. So I just ult with Bond, and then I just call it a day. And that's going second with Percival. GG. Alright, so we are on the Sins team, and we are going to be doing the second tower, which I believe is, I think it's what is the Ghislaine one. So we are using this team featuring the Escanor, which is a special season hero. We have UR Gother, Jelly King, and also Merlin. And all these characters are going to be pretty much needed because you gain a lot of base stats. And I'm using this artifact card set. I know there's a Sins base artifact card set, so you probably want to use that one instead. But I use this one just for Jelly King. But again, you want to try to use this team featuring Escanor. This is what I use. I use attack, crit, defense. Then I use HP, crit, defense. And then I'm using HP, crit, resist on Jelly King. And this is going to be actually really helpful for him. Later on in the video, I'll show you why. And then you got HP, crit, defense on Merlin. Again, this is going to be a team where you gain a lot of base stats. And again, this team is going to be really much needed because these towers hit pretty hard. So having as much stats as possible is going to really help you be able to tank, especially if you're a person who's trying to go second. So hopefully that all works out. All right, so we are on the Ghislaine tower, and we're going to be using this against Escanor. Now, Escanor is a really powerful character. Now, this team is pretty, it just has a lot of base stats, my team. But usually you want to do is just rank up with Escanor and just nuke Echidna. And it's because Echidna can be really annoying given base stats for the team. And the good thing for us is that Ghislaine does not lock Escanor because we're using attack set on Escanor. So Ghislaine only goes for the highest CC character, which is going to be my HP character. But this is going to be the easiest one to do because we should be able to heal pretty easily, especially if we're going to get rid of Ghislaine. Now the good thing for us is that Merlin does have a stun on her, so all we have to do is attack 3 more times, and then she's stunned, which means she can't attack, which gives us equal opportunity to heal up and come back with some more HP. So we just finish you off, and then you're gone like that. Boom. Super easy. Featuring the going against the catastrophes. So this time we're going to just go against catastrophes. Again, catastrophes is also super easy to attack. Usually you want to be careful because you want to try to make sure that Lilia stays alive, which is why I'm using like attack crit defense set on my Escanor and not like attack crit damage, just because I want to make sure Lilia stays alive because I just do way too much damage to my team. Look at how much damage I just did. Now imagine if I had a crit damage set, I would have been able to like literally just wipe. And you don't want to do that because you want to make sure you have enough time to recover your team. That's the thing. You want to try to make sure you recover as much HP as possible on your team. So you just have to pretty much just stall, which I will say is the worst thing about this type of team, is that you have to stall for most of the time, just so you get some heal back. So you kind of gotta like stall out, kind of let the enemy just get some HP back, because it shouldn't do as much damage as you. Usually you heal more damage than you take. So that's why you see I'm just pretty much just stalling, because we're literally just healing more damage than we are basically tanking right now. It's hit me for 89. And we just try to go for this just so we can heal up a little bit more on Jelly King. But we pretty much just nuked regardless. So with this, we just gonna go to the fairies. Alright, so since we on the fairies, this is where I say you want to run crit resist on Jelly King, is because you don't want to get hit with a crit, because when I use crit defense on Jelly King, what ended up happening is that the enemy Jelly King would just pretty much hit me with a crit that would end up just one-shotting me. So that's why I just ran crit resist on my Jelly King, just so we stop that from happening. And we just blast. His helper took the death damage. Usually you want probably like a lane or something, just so he has less cards to use. But it's fine because it is a Glock's type of team. So now we're just trying to figure out if you want to keep our HP for our team. Because again, we've got to make sure that at least one of them lives. Comes to his team. Just so we can recover some HP. But I was kind of unlucky in that his lane actually got her ultimate pretty fast, and she had no HP left. So it kind of leaves me in a situation where I have to pretty much just attack with my king. This is where I debate if I have to rank up or not, but I think I just go for rank up and just hit the lane. Unfortunately, I want to try to do as much damage as possible just so I can recover HP, which we do. And again, you keep trying to like make sure you have enough HP as possible just so you don't end up just losing your characters one by one. For this time we have a Marilli team. Marilli just goes for Jelly King, which we pretty much just tank. Usually Liz is the one you have to be scared about, but if you go for AoE, you should do decent amounts of damage, especially because when it comes to Margaret, she's gonna cleanse, and then you want to watch out for Liz because Liz actually hits pretty hard and she can crit. And then we just want to go for Mayo, and then debuff as well too. I just used it randomly. Usually this should be enough to get rid of Mayo, but now he can be Stat Lord, which is really nice for us. And as long as we debuffing, Margaret is going to try to go for a cleanse, which then leads me to get my base stat boosting for my team, which I then just go for Escanor rank up to nuke his Liz. Again, we're going for our base stats as well. Loki didn't need to do all this, but it's really nice to have the stats. And he was able to get rid of you. And now he's just left with Tarmiel. Which Tarmiel just ended up just going after Gulter, which again doesn't matter because Gulter is going to just nuke. And we just heal most of our HP back up. And now we're on the last and final tower, which is going to be the Ragnarok one. Now this is where we don't really care that our characters are going to end up being dead, because that actually is very helpful for Escanor. Because remember, Escanor gets like more attack related stats per ally that dies. That is sins or humans. So if Jelly King is gone, that's actually really good for us because then we can just rank up and just start blasting. So again, the more characters that are gone, the easier it is for us to nuke his team. And with that, we got rid of Tyr, and we just gotta keep getting Escanor cards and we should be fine. Unfortunately disabled, but it's fine if you get another single target. And I pretty much went for Merlin, and because the Nashi doesn't really do damage, so getting rid of her is going to be actually really beneficial, especially because she can steal AoEs. So that's going to be the end of the tower of us going second. Again, it was super easy. Escanor is a very powerful character, literally just nuked with the A. Alright, so that will be the video for Hero Arena going second. Obviously, It's only gonna be useful for 2 of the towers. The last one, we still haven't found a team or teams to be able to defeat the first one, because it does feature Gelda. Now, I have been testing out some things, but again, it's still very hard to get through all of these teams. I think the only one I made it to was literally the 3rd team, and then that's when I got absolutely destroyed. But for anybody who wanted to try to attempt, I found this team was really good for at least nuking the Gelda tower, because that's going to be the hardest one to do. Because again, you have Demon King who have his ultimate, and then you have Estros who have his ultimate at 6 out of 6 to pretty much finish off Gelda. Again, Demon King will block out the cards at 6/6, and then you have Estros to pretty much finish it off with his I forgot what his ultimate is called, but it's a very powerful ultimate as well too. And then he has the darkness stacking, which then can lead to encroachment as well, in case you somehow don't have enough damage to follow up. And again, that is just enough to nuke the first team. It will not let you get through the other teams because they still do high amounts of damage. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe again, and good luck on summoning for Percival.